with Liquid's top laner.
Thank you very much, Rivington. Great cast on the day as well. I'm here with Liquid top laner, tank extraordinaire, Samson Lorelo Jackson. Now, Samson, I do want to ask you right off the bat, because we heard you talk about how there's low expectations for you this split, because there's all these import top laners like Flame, Looper, and Someday. But what is your impression of the NA LCS top lane as a whole right now?
Yeah, I think overall the NA top lane talent is crazy with all the imports coming in. So I'm just looking to get as much as I can out of like Someday, Looper, Flame, all the like veterans. Like Looper won Worlds. Someday's been on KT. He's like performed really well. So like I'm gonna improve a lot faster than I did any other split because there's so much more talent. So I'm really excited for that.
You're talking about improvement for yourself. Like last year, you came in as a rookie. You just finished your first year in the NALCS, but there was marked improvement. You kicked butt at IEM Gyeonggi. You were solo killing people in the top lane nonstop. Now we're seeing you destroy on tanks. What are you going to attribute as the biggest factor in your development as a player? Because you seem to have grown so much so quickly.
Yeah, I think with this new iteration of the roster, like our environment's really good, and also like it's just really nice to have like an open mind. Like talking to Rainover about matchups, just like having that, I guess, backing in terms of his veteranship and just being able to learn on a faster pace. But also I just want to stay humble, work hard, and make sure I can get better and better going forward.
Well, you're doing really well so far, getting player of the game in the first game, and I don't know who it is in the second game, but we'll see later. But I do want to ask you about your matchup tomorrow, because you will be going up against a former champion in the top lane, multi-time champion with Balls on FlyQuest. What is your impression of Balls now that he's returned to the NALCS, and what are your thoughts on that matchup you're going to have against him tomorrow?
Yeah, so Balls had a really good performance when he played in LCS back with the OG C9. So it's just like if he can get back into form pretty much. Like I'm always looking to play versus new top lane talent, so I'm really excited to play versus him. And for the iteration of the new, I guess, challenger roster, I don't really know because we haven't been scrimming that much. So it's just like up in there, and I think we'll do well though.
All right, well, good luck tomorrow in your matchup, and congratulations today on the victory against Counter Logic Gaming. And now we're going to send it over to the guys at the desk to close out that matchup.
Thank you very much, Zyrene. That was a very impressive scoreline for a tank player in the top lane. 10, 1, and 18 over the 2 games.
Too many kills. Taking too many kills from him.
Exactly, yeah. Piglet's going to have some words for that at the end of the series. But, no, I mean, a fantastic way for Team Liquid to start the season. Another 2-0. We've had a lot of 2-0s so far here in the North American LCS. But, funnily enough, we were breaking down the FlyQuest Envy game, and when we returned, we were in the midst of the Team Liquid game-winning team fight. So let's just go ahead and take another look at that game-winning team fight. 42-50 into the game, all the way over on the other side of the map, CLG's mid-inhib turret. We'll take a look at it and see how this game kind of all came together.
Right, and I mean, this was basically after TL had mostly turned the game around, and we see that it just starts with them right in front of CLG's base. The TP from Darshan comes in, and you see the weakness of like a Jace top lane TP, the problems that can happen. A great hook from Lorelo, snags Tuhi, pulls him in, giving Rainover the chance to get the kill, starts getting the resets, doing Kha'Zix things, hopping all over the place. And from there, they clean the rest of the fight up, ace, and they can go and push down the game. You see Piglet is pretty thrilled with that comeback. And I mean, the fact is, I think, like you've heard, he's always been on teams like a couple struggles, like internal struggles, attitude problems, and to be like in a roster that can rally and actually come back in difficult games, you can see how just excited he is about that.
Right, that's going to be a feel-good win, not just to have secured the victory, but to have secured it in the way that they did. They've now got a game where they were out in front and closed it. They have a game where they got out to a deficit and were able to pull it back. And I love this idea that you're talking about, the mentality of this team, because as we know, it has been a team that's had ups and downs with their rosters, with the way that they operate with each other. But here so far, we heard it from Steve earlier when I was talking to him. He says, this is the clearest communication I've ever heard from Team Liquid. This environment is very healthy for these guys.
Right, and I hate to keep going back to this Dardoch, Rainover comparison, but we saw in Breaking Point, just like Dardoch, if the game was going bad, would straight up say, let's lose this game, go next game, forget it. Whereas here, we see them rallying really hard, especially when Rainover is the one arguably playing the worst in the early game where he's constantly getting picked off. And I think having that kind of veteran presence who wants to rally, not just get into a better situation where he says, well, let's play this game as hard as we can. We have a great team comp, and they're able to actually turn it all around.
Right, so one aspect of it all was the communication and the mental fortitude that they displayed here in this game. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. The other aspect of this, though, is the way that the team compositions match up against each other. And I want to have a quick discussion around this because we saw a very aggressive team composition out of CLG with that Jace in the top lane up against the Nautilus. but a very solid team fight coming out of Team Liquid.
Right. It looks like CLG tried to switch things up, and I think TL, when they took the Nautilus pick, were expecting to go tank versus tank matchup again, and CLG flips it on them. They go to Jace, then they take the early snowballing pick in the Aurelion Sol. They want to blow this map wide open, and it looks like that's going to happen.
Right.
But TL has an assassin in the jungle, a tank, a control mage, a hyper scaling AD carry. They have great range, and when you're up against all that, it's extremely hard to actually close the game out. And as much of a lead as CLG had, if you can't actually start a fight against this team comp and they're constantly peeling back and sucking you further and further in, they still have turrets to hide behind, it's so hard to end the game.
But it does raise, we have the Aurelion Sol pick, which is part of what made it so easy for CLG to get out to those early leads with the roams. And of course, this is a champion that Huhi rather is no stranger to. What is this going to do for pick ban for every team now when they come up against CLG? Because we've talked about with the addition of more bans, you have more options for strategic, targets. Well, Huhi now has this pesky Aurelion Sol that you got to consider in every single series.
Right. It's a really interesting debate to have, because you think with more bans, you can easily throw one away and just cover this, one pocket pick, but at the same time, you actually want to use those extra bans to aggressively gain yourself advantages somewhere on the map. And if you're using one of those to cover a pocket pick as opposed to exploit some position on the map, it actually might hurt worse in this kind of draft format when you, as CLG, are able to exploit a position like a top lane matchup or something.
Right.
And they have to deal with just covering some annoying mid pick that doesn't really advance their game plan.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how teams prioritize those bans and where they go as the season evolves. Are they going to value getting someone off a pocket pick, higher than they do targeting someone and creating a large disparity in lane matchup? We'll have to see. Player of the game, we're going to a post-game breakdown just so you guys get a little look at how things went. I mean, look at the goal. The goal difference is entirely red. So again, even when we tuned back into this game, Team Liquid was not winning, and yet they won.
Yeah, and the crazy part is the graph can't even handle how hard they were losing that game at some point. It just goes totally off the grid, down over 10K, I assume, because it just stops there. But yeah, the whole game, the fact that you see how important having a really good team comp is, that you can win in situations like that, combined with, like we said, that mentality.
And the numbers that jump out to me here is the discrepancy between damage dealt by both ADCs. Look at that, because the mid laners relatively equal, right? But in basically 20K.
Right. And the thing I think it's important to know is you can't just say, oh, Stixxay played this game bad.
Right.
Where's his front line? Who does he hit? Piglet is peeling back with an Orianna helping and a Nautilus to hit behind, and the team has to dive them to close the game. He's happy just free hitting people, whereas Ashe, what are you going to do, flash in to follow up? You don't want to do that. So I think it's the kind of thing where numbers can be a little deceptive, and you need to keep in mind the exact context that they come from.
Right, yeah, not a commentary on Stixxay's ability to play the role or the champion, more so a commentary on the way that the team comps play out and the fact that Piglet had free roam. Player of the game, going to Piglet. And here's the thing, I mean, he got targeted in Champ Select. Most people are considering Ashe, Varus, and Jhin to be the top 3 ADCs. The CLG first picks Ashe, double bans ADCs, and then, hey, Team Liquid, Piglet says, I can play Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about the Aurelion Sol being a scary pocket pick. Twitch on the other side, if you're going to pick Ashe, Zyra, a very strong lane, they go Karma, Twitch, and they make it out of the lane mostly unscathed. He was doing pretty good in CS this whole time. That's really scary because you tried to target Piglet, and he just bounced back totally fine. So that's another thing teams are going to have to consider when looking at Team Liquid.
Yeah, definitely a big win condition for them, getting to that late game, being able to put out big AoE teamfight damage alongside that Orianna. Secures Team Liquid their first victory of the split. We've got more league action on the way. After the break, Echo Fox takes on the new face of Immortals. Don't go anywhere. The NALCS will be right back.
Shut up, dude.
Jason, don't tilt. Smile. Don't tilt, dude. No tilt.
They're whoa right now. Oh, he jumps into it like a moth to a flame, and he's gonna go down. Kicks him back.
I'm coming. You guys got it. I flash. Okay. Yep. Bings out. Already. Exhausted Twitch. Yep. Nice. Backing him. You got it. I got it. All right, I'm gonna base.
Can we go mid?
Yeah, we go mid.
That was an exhaust use as well, so damage is gonna come forward for the rest of the team. Afro move pops immediately.
I can look soul here.
Yeah. I'm still in the back line.
Nice. We can chase.
Yeah.
Nice.
Darshan comes in, teleports right into the middle of the fight. Thought maybe Team Liquid would back off of it under turret. Rain over now goes in. He's very low. That's going to be Darshan falling. Team Liquid look to clean up Counter Logic Gaming in their own base, and it is the command move. Well played to Team Liquid, a very clean win over Counter Logic Gaming.